Welcome to Hobby Palooza 2025. Hello everyone, I'm Orlando from A Collector's Dream, and I'm honored this year to be your Hobby Palooza ambassador. This year, we're once again proud to support Signatures for Soldiers, a non-profit helping disabled veterans through the power of sports autographs. As you know, we're accepting donations all weekend long, and for every $10 that you donate, you'll earn one raffle entry for some amazing prizes. The preferred way to donate is through Zelle in your banking app to the email jekofma@yahoo.com, JECOFFMA@yahoo.com. The Zelle is not an option. Use PayPal, goods and services to the same email. Let's go ahead and beat last year's total of over $5,800. This hour of Hobby Palooza is brought to you by the Penny Sleever, who are generously donating 10% of this week's sales at thepennysleever.com to Signatures for Soldiers. The Penny Sleever, as you know, has top quality supplies at fair prices. Enjoy the show and have some fun.
Hey guys, this is the Misfits Hour, and we're here. Want to ask you guys to donate to Signatures for Soldiers, as you just heard there. I have 5 of my fellow Misfits here. Rick is showing his shirt off. We got Don, Lou, John.
Loser.
How are you guys doing?
Loser.
The host would be the one.
George is the black sheep of the family.
Well, maybe I have it under here. It's maybe, I don't know. So we're going to go through some cards. It's no BS. It's going to be a lot of BS and some cards. And we're going to see, gosh, at least 27 cards here going through and just rifling through them. I asked the guys to put together some cards and send them to me. And we're going to begin with number 1 here. The cards that are meaningful to them for different reasons. And this one is the first one. Leading us off is Rick. Rick, tell us about this card.
All right. So, of course, it's I collect Giants cards, Juan Marichal. It's pre-rookie in the minor leagues. And John in Atlantic City saw this on Saturday. And he actually saw it first. And he had me come over. We were talking about it. And he was kind of hemming and hawing. Did he need to go down to get some more money? And he kind of he skipped on it. And so then Sunday morning, just before we're getting up, I hear his car racing down the street. He's leaving the National. No. So he's leaving. I said, we're all saying, what are you doing, John? You love cards. And John, what did you say? Tell everyone.
No, I'll never admit that. I had to get back, man. I had a long drive.
So John leaves, and then, of course, I go back and snake it from him on Sunday. And then we've had a gag here for the past few years. Now, he does own one now, so it's okay. But that's the true story.
So you're saying you're the original baseball collector, card cutter, drama, snaking a card from a buddy. Oh, my God.
But the thing is a little bit different is he had a chance to get it, and he left. I was there on Sunday.
Yeah, that's unlike the Louis Tion Sr. that you snaked from me.
So anyway,
and then flipped to Picker Jim.
I try to bring this card up every time. So John owns it now, and a beautiful card.
So the pro tip here is if you find something you like, get it.
Exactly.
Get it, or your buddy will steal it from you.
Right. All right. Speaking of buddies, next one, I think it's John Mangini. John, you're up.
What do we have here? Yeah, so 1981 Fleer. You know, I remember when they came out with the Fleer and a Donruss. So these are always going to be nostalgic for me. And I had opened a pack and put it in that frame there with a piece of the gum. Now, that was the first complete box I remember buying at my flea market. Was 81 Fleer. I believe they were $7 a box back then. And more recently, Garrett over at Card Cutter, he opened a pack of these and he pulled that Davy Lopes with the gum stuck to it. And I told him how nostalgic this set was and how awesome that card was with the gum stuck. And he sent it to me. And so I put it in a Mag Pro with my label and I display it over here. It's one of the cards I display. I love it. And that's why it's a childhood memories. The first complete box I ever opened.
And you know what I loved about that set was the fact that you had not just like one Mike Schmidt, you had two.
Yeah.
You had, two Reggie Jacksons. You had two stars usually.
Yeah, and they had some errors that were fun to go after. The Greg Nettles, for instance.
Craig Nettles.
Yeah.
So did you send that to Pepino Man so you could lick the gum?
No, man. I want my gum in pristine condition.
Very nice. So we're going to move on now to Mr. Don.
All righty. So I put that card up for you, George, because I know how much you love that set. And actually bought that card raw, and a 2 for that card is a pretty high grade. And I've got a friend from Venezuela who I sent a picture of the back of it, and he translated it for me. And so when I did my video, I read it like I knew what it was saying. And I think, is there a picture of the back that I sent you, or didn't that make
No, there is not.
Okay, I sent that to you because it's clean. A lot of these have the scrapbook marks or whatever, and the back is perfect on this card. And even though it's not a plain date card of his, it's still old enough. It's 50 years old. The year is now almost 60 years old, but and it's a tough card to find. What he says.
That's great.
The C3PO error card.
I could never look at this card ever again.
I know. That's the comment of the night.
That's the comment of the year, man. I almost bought a C3PO card at the show yesterday. I went to.
That's perfect.
It was a corrected one.
I have that CP3.
You need a sister. You need to pair them up. That's perfect.
Now I got to sell this card.
Those retirados are so rare.
Oh gosh.
All right, so we're gonna move on to James. Thanks, Don.
Oh, all right. I got the Mickey Mantle card that I picked up from a collection in Oklahoma. And I picked up 3 Mickey Mantle autograph cards all slapped. And I was like really stoked to have found these. But this one, unbeknownst, was not even like the best one, or I thought, until George reaches out to me and he sees the video with this card. He's like, dude, do you know what you got there? And I'm like, no, what happened? And he starts filling me in that this was actually a card that was produced by YouTuber Dave Blue Jacket 66. And I was like, are you kidding me? Seriously? He's like, yeah. And he gives me the link to the video and I watch it. And he reaches out to Dave, right, George? He reached out to him, and Dave.
Yeah, I did. And Dave was really emotional. He's like, I got to talk to him. He's like, that's amazing. That it's one of his, I guess, extensions or black and whites that he did with his dad. And,
right.
And then you get a signed copy.
I got a signed copy, but not only the signed copy. Do you have a picture of the back where it says test issue?
No, but that's why we know that.
Right.
That's how we knew it was Dave's.
Right. So Dave said that he only did that as like a gag, and he stamped test on only a few of the backs. And this happened to be one of them that he stamped test on it. He says, I probably stamped this card and I didn't do so many. So the fact that it's connected to Dave, who's a tremendous collector in the hobby, I idolize his collection and all, and his wealth of knowledge. And I have a piece. I actually offered to have it be back in his collection, but he couldn't give me what he thought this was worth. And he says, you know what, I'd rather you keep it, and it's a card that'll never leave my collection. It's worth more than, I had a 65 tops that was signed. And to me, this is worth like 10 times compared to that one. And this is never leaving my collection.
That's awesome. That's an awesome story.
Yeah.
Lou, you're next. You saw the card that's coming up here, man.
Yeah, brother. So this card, it's funny. I'm the old guy at work, and a lot of guys are surprised when I tell them I've been with my wife 25 years, married 21. And they're like, so how did you know, bro? How did you know that she was going to be the one? And there were many things along the way, but this was this was the big step in our relationship when I didn't know anything about eBay. Rachel's my wife, used to collect silver spoons when she was in college, and she had eBay. And she it was a whole new world. I'm like, I could buy baseball cards online. How does it work? And she already had an account, so I just gave her the cash. But I was looking up, obviously, Bird Magic rookie card because it was a card I always wanted. They're the GOATs. And I was like, man, you got 2 GOATs on one card. And at the time, I was looking, I think it was either Valentine's or a birthday was coming. I can't remember. And I saw this card. I was like, man, I think I want to buy this card. It was like $120, buy it now or something like that. And she's like, you gonna spend that much on a card? I'm like, yeah. She's like, do you really want it as a gift? I'm like, well, I'm not going to say no. Either you get it for me or I'm going to get it because I'm going to get this card. It's a card I've always wanted. And she just, it's like, I'll get it for you. And that's how I knew I was in love. She got me this card. Oh my gosh, man. Maybe 23 years ago. At least 23 years ago. We were dating. We were starting to get serious. And she surprised me. She's like, I got it. I'll take care of it. And when it came in, because it went to her address, she came in. It was all wrapped up. And it was happily ever after. We've been together 25 years, but this was the first major sign I knew she was the one.
Did you buy that graded back then, or did you have it graded?
It was just, it was exactly like that. Same, people go crazy because it's not a new flip, doesn't have the little hollow foil, but the card is beautiful. I wouldn't even dare to try to crack it. Like John says, these young cats, I don't know who's going to crack it over there. The card is beautiful, pristine, and it's great for me. So I wouldn't.
Great story, Lou.
What's that, brother?
That's awesome. That's a great story.
Yeah. She's the one. She's a keeper.
All right, next one up. This is my card, and it's not the card. It's the Rod Carew 1980 card, but I guess I can remember he was my guy growing up, and I remember going to the store, and this is the beginning of the 1980 season, and we all wanted to get a Rod Carew on the Angels, and it was the first card of Carew on the Angels, and I remember I think in 79 packs were like 20 cents, so I grabbed 40 cents, and I went to the store to get 2 packs, and I was like, 8 years old. And I drove with my friends to the store on my bike, and I get there, and the packs, I think, went up to 25 cents. So I only had enough money for 1 pack of cards. And this is, again, like March of 1980. So I was disappointed. I got my 1 pack of cards, and I was really hoping to pull a Carew. And I drove home on my bike with my buddies, and I got to my house, and I opened that 1 pack, and I pulled a Carew. And I was just like, this is so cool, And then, then later on, obviously, when I could afford graded cards, I ended up picking up this Carew. But just kind of can remember like thinking, man, that got me hooked at that point because, if you're going to be a gambler and you buy 1 pack and get the cards you want, you're going to be buying packs the rest of your life. All right, Rick, you're up next.
Okay, so this card is actually, I've told this story more than once. My mom loved collecting it or picking things up at garage sales. So in the 70s, she would always pick up these vintage cards, boxes of vintage cards for dirt cheap. And she calls me on someone else's phone and says, Rick, they want $12 for this card. What do you think? And I didn't know what it was, some tobacco card. What's going on here? What's a tobacco card? Right? I would always say, pick it up. I'll pay you back. Pick it up. I'll pay you back, which I never did. So this is a $12 card back in the 70s, and it's Buck Weaver. It's a pre-rookie card in the minor leagues, and I got this graded at a TriStar in San Francisco years ago. You can see it's an older flip. It came back a 4, so it's a very important card to me, and it's nowadays very expensive. So it's something that reminds me of my mom when she picked things up. It was probably my best buy ever, or her best buy ever, for $12. And I still have the receipt. $12. She would keep a list of what I owed her. which I never. I mean, literally, it's this was a big buy, $12 for one card, But she'd buy like $15 a whole box of 69 cards, and that was really cool.
I'll double your money, Rick. I'll give you $24 for it.
This card is like literally a $3,000 card. I always tell garage sale stories when it comes to something like that. You never know what you're going to find.
You know how you could tell that's really special to Rick? Because he didn't flip it.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love garage sales.
Perfect segue. Perfect segue to you, John. You're next.
All right. So I had, stopped collecting for a while, and I had all my cards in my parents' house. And one day they decided they were moving, and they called me in 2001 and said, "You need to come get all your cards." And I had just gotten married. And so I went one day and I got them all while my wife was at work. And she came home, and I had my whole living room was packed with boxes of cards. And when I told her I had a large collection, she did not have in mind how large of a collection I really had. And so she came home, and when she came home, she couldn't believe what she was looking at. I mean, her jaw dropped, and she's like, "What are we going to do with all these cards?" kind of thing. And so I started to go through them, organize them and everything. And I got the bug again. And that's when I got back into collecting again in 2001. And of course, started watching Pujols and Ichiro here, and just thought they were fantastic from day one. And I started buying up all their cards. And this card has nostalgia to me, this gallery card. And this is the Japanese version with the Japanese lettering. And I had studied Japanese in college not too long before this. And it's just a very special, nostalgic card that reminds me of the time I got all my cards back and started collecting again.
So this was the rebirth of John Mangini.
Yes, it was. The first rebirth.
The phoenix rising from the ashes.
The first rebirth. Yep.
Great story. Don,
I had stopped around 92, like right at the beginning of 92.
Don, you're up next.
All right. Okay. Do any of you guys know why I like these three guys?
Yes.
You like men.
Okay, so
You like to be manhandled.
I do. So obviously, assholes.
You opened yourself up for that one, bro. We're trying to behave. This is the most
that proves to me that only George watches my videos.
You make videos?
Not anymore. So my dad grew up with these three guys. They lived in his neighborhood, and he knew all three of them. And it's an area of Pittsburgh called Lawrenceville, and back then it was a big Polish area. Everyone had ski on the end of their names, including me. And right before my dad passed away, we were having a talk, and we had never talked cards or baseball. He was never into that. And he was like, I grew up with three guys that made it to the major leagues. They're brothers. They're 3 of 13 kids. And he said, three of them made the major leagues, and I still go out and have lunch with one of them. I can't remember which one it was. And so as soon as this was like on a Friday, and my dad fell over the weekend, and he ended up passing away a couple of days later. And I ran on eBay and picked up these cards. And at the viewing, or the wake at the dinner after the viewing, I showed him to my uncle, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I know the Sadowski brothers." And he's like, "You can still buy cards of theirs?" Like he had no idea that those old vintage cards you could get. So, monetarily, those cards aren't worth much, and not even the most appealing looking cards. But it's a great memory of one of the last talks I had with my dad.
That's very cool.
That's amazing.
So,
Nice.
Amazing.
And I'm so glad that you did this, because it's like we've been telling these stories, but it's these card roots run deep. It's not about grades, and it's not, it's about the meaning. And it's like,
Right.
collect what you love, they always say. And these are great stories of examples of that. James, you're up next.
Hey,
Fire
before we
away.
move on, Don, I thought you stopped making videos. I thought you were just a mascot on Wade Boggs fan now.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
I made a video last week.
With Wade Boggs fan.
No, actually I didn't. That was yesterday with him.
So when I asked these guys to get me the cards, I didn't tell anybody to do anything, but ironically, two of our Misfits gave me the same card in the same grade, and so the next picture is a picture of that little foreshadowing there, Lou and James.
But the stories are different.
Well, my story is because of Lou. He made me so jealous. He had this card raw, and as a Don Mattingly fanatic, I'm like, why have I not bought this card yet? And lo and behold, at the National, this was present, and I didn't care. I just pulled the trigger on it, and it was namely because of Lou showing off his raw copy. I guess now you can say why you have yours.
Yeah, that's why I love collecting with my brothers. You know what I'm saying? We influence each other. And as a Yankee fan, you got to have this card in your collection. But from my other brother, who always likes to say I'm parsimonious, very cheap. SAT word right there. I love the flea markets. I love the yard sales. I love the hunt. I love finding diamonds in the rough. And this Donnie was, man, that's why I hate the pandemic, because the flea market didn't last after the pandemic. But I went to my local flea market, and I went to my guy Corey, and old guy, super unorganized. I usually go there and I help him organize and clean up stuff. But in it, I found a partial set of what I thought was Topps 1984 Topps. But for whatever reason, he's like, no, it's still, he had like Scotch tape on it. He's like, no, I don't want you messing it. Those look too good. I don't want you messing with it. He had like $25 on it. And at that time, I was like, man, this Donnie baseball looks so good. You're not going to let me handle it? He's like, no, just leave it as is. If you want it, I'll cut you a deal. I was like, I can't believe you're not going to let me take it out, smell the cards. He's like, nope, it's cherry. I'm like, how much is it, the complete set? He's like, it's a partial set. I'm like, I'll give you 18 because it's not a complete set. He's like, done. And I helped him clean up a little bit, organize a little bit. I go back home, I open it, and I already knew immediately, like, this is weird. And I flip it over, and I get the nice little, you see that, you know, you're good. I even told Corey, he's like, no, you're good. I'm like, this was a Tiffany. And he's like, you know, flea market gods were with you that day. He's like, I was good. So I immediately knew it was a Tiffany. I had it raw for a long time. And Fisher Bike, who's local to me, Jason, he was doing a submission. He's like, I'm going to do a group, a nice bulk order. If you want to throw it in there or a couple cards in there, I'm happy to take it and send it off. So I did that and came back. And a nice little 9, but this card is just, as you can see, beautiful. And yeah, it's just one of those, is my best flea market find, best yard sale find. And that's what keeps me going to these flea markets and yard sales. So finds like this.
That's just so funny that both you guys put this card up. I was like laughing yesterday when I was putting this slideshow together. I'm like, I got to put these boys together.
Oh, I'm just glad James is coming. Is this your unretirement? Are you coming back to YouTube? Golly, bro, do a video once in a while.
Soon.
Theo, what do you got next? Oh yeah, these are mine. Go figure. These are from 84, 85 Slurpee discs. You guys watch my channel. You know how much I talk about riding in the desert just to 7-Eleven like 3 miles away to get a Slurpee, and just so much fun doing that. And then later on I started collecting these later on and got some of them graded. I think that Walter Payton's actually from, both of these are from my childhood collection. I'm gonna be quick here, but ironically I was at a show yesterday after I had already put together this presentation, and this guy had a bunch of Slurpee discs. and he had Slurpee discs from 80, 84, 85, 86. And I didn't buy them, and I milled around the show. And at the end of the show, I went back to go buy them. It was $25 for 3 complete sets. I walked over, and there was Rick, and he bought them all for me. Some guy was there, and I was walking up, and he's like, he had bought them. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm buying these Slurpee discs. They're a great deal. And I'm like, damn, Rick's here.
Rick does not play.
No, he does not.
Golly.
I didn't follow my own pro tip.
Hide your cards around that guy.
Yeah. So, Rick, you're up next.
Rick shops with alacrity.
Rick the Flipper. All right. So this is my very first Chrissy Mathewson card before I could afford a Chrissy Mathewson card. And it has an issue. It's missing the bottom. It's missing his name. So it's kind of important to me just because I collect Chrissy Mathewson cards. And this is probably, I picked this one up, man, it would have been maybe 2000, somewhere in that, I don't know. And I didn't have any money. I had a young son, and it's probably the most I've ever spent on a pre-war card, and so it just means a lot. I'll probably never ever sell this card, even though I own a nice example. But I don't know, just kind of a nostalgic that I own my very first Chrissy Mathewson card.
It almost looks like he's got a lightning bolt in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he's pitching right before it rains or something.
Yeah. And of course, I probably only paid 90% because it's missing trims on the bottom there.
That affordability, baby.
John, you're up next.
All right. So when I was a kid, the Topps version of this card was just, I just cherished it. The home run leaders. And I only have one photograph of me with my cards as a kid, and I'm holding that card in the picture. And so I wanted to get a special copy of this card. And for me, a number on a slab doesn't make something special. So this is the O-Pee-Chee version, and this may be the toughest card in the world to find centered, even somewhat centered. And so I bought one, and it was it's off-centered. I have it hanging on my wall, and I stumbled on this one, and it was like the best centered one I've found so far. And just a card that, I just cherished as a kid growing up.
That's a great
And when
card.
you look at it, you think to yourself, I mean, there's, at the time, it's the 3 greatest outfielders, arguably, of all time.
Yeah, I mean, to have a card, any card with Babe Ruth on it was exciting at the time. I didn't have any playing days, Ruth, and at that time thought, I probably never would.
I like that Polaroid you had.
Yeah. And, it's blurry. The only thing you can make out as far as the cards are concerned is this card. The other card is blurred out, so I don't even know what I'm holding. I think it might have been my 66 Clemente that looked like somebody put it in their back pocket for 3 months.
Hey guys, Dylan just called me. He said he went to Mangini's house. Mangini only had 2 centered cards in the whole room.
Ever since Dylan started with the centered stuff, I started collecting uncentered, off-centered cards. I've had enough.
Does this mean that Theo's going to drop in every 15 minutes and throw a barb at somebody?
Probably.
Yes.
Oh, good. I like that.
I know we're behaving too much for this right now.
Yeah, right now. Well, Don, take us down a road here.
All right. Dan Bankhead. So the reason I like this card is he is the first African-American to pitch in the major leagues. And he didn't have a long career. But rumor has it that he was so afraid to pitch inside to white players that they'd retaliate that he didn't have more of a career. And I got this card because it's part of my, if I ever continue it, the Negro Leagues to Major Leagues. And so he doesn't get a lot of recognition because he didn't have much of a career. but just love this card because he was the first at something in the major leagues.
Yeah, I always think about the fact that after integration, the National League won most of the All-Star games and MVPs. Like it was amazing. Like they just beat the heck out of the American League in the All-Star game. And the National League MVP was won by an African-American player 90% of the time after that, for like the next 15 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's just a great set. I love all the Bowman sets.
Yeah. Early Bowman is the best.
Yeah.
Totally. And we're going to see some of those coming up here. So let's see here. James, you're up. Here's an early card.
Oh,
You're the monster, James.
golly.
All right. So this card in particular, I have to say, was never on my hit list. Ever. Until I took on the journey to put the 52 top set together. And then this card, I just didn't know when I would pick it up because it's so pricey. But last year at the National, I went on the hunt. I said, you know what? Screw it. I don't know what I'm going to pick up out here, but I'm going to pick up the one. And I finally found this one, which has great eye appeal. Not the centering that Dylan would approve, but, for the price and the number and the eye appeal, I was ecstatic. And I now have the synonymous best rookie card ever made by Topps. It's a card that if I didn't put the 52 top set together, I probably would never own this card. But because of that set, it allowed me to appreciate the magnitude of what is this card, which I think fuels me as much as I guess the Jackie Robinson or the Mays or the Mantle. But the fact that this has so much panache with being the most expensive Topps rookie card ever, I kind of appreciate this one the most in my collection as far as rookie cards go. I'm just very happy that collecting the set brought me to this card.
Dope card. Such a dope card.
Yeah, I feel like, we don't understand how good Eddie Matthews was and popular. I mean, he was on the cover of the first Sports Illustrated, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He was hitting home runs.
Yeah, I bought that first Sports Illustrated because of the whole thing with Eddie Matthews, and he's the first rookie card of Topps that's super valuable, and also the Sports Illustrated. He should be a lot more lauded, his legend, but there goes Adam.
Yeah.
And of course, that the first one had the 54 cards in it, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just
The paper version.
I mean, imagine the tandem right now. You have like Freeman and Ohtani or whoever. It's like, imagine what Aaron and Matthews would make and what they would do to the league.
Yeah, I did a dynamic duo series a long time ago, and they were number 2 below Ruth and Garrick.
And I think a solid, almost no argument number 2.
Right.
He's one of the few Braves that played for Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Rick would pick
Come on,
McCovey
James.
and Mays.
Cubby and
Mays
Mays.
and McCovey, man. What are you
That's
doing?
what I just said. Yeah. I'll go Stargell Parker
Stargell Clemente.
Pops.
or Stargell Clemente.
Clemente, baby.
All right, we're gonna burn our time, man.
I know we're going to try and concentrate.
Whoa,
Whoa,
look at these bad boys.
Oh
what's
shoot!
going on? What happened here?
I don't know.
Did Kurt put his stuff on there?
Hey,
There,
can
you got mustard and ketchup, baby. Mustard
Can
and
you
ketchup.
blow up? Yeah, there you go. Can you blow up Lou here?
All right.
Rack him up a little bit.
Back
Back
up.
'em up.
Blue, man. Those are sick.
Thank you. So the reason I got these were, so you guys know how adorable my Bob is, and my wife, of course. They tag teamed, and I've been very staunch on no. We can't get a second dog. We can't. We got an old dog. She's great. She's trained. She could be lazy at times. She listens. A puppy doesn't do that. And I'm telling you, at least 2.5 years, I've been saying no. But when Bob is giving you the puppy eyes, I knew I was going to break down sooner or later. So I made a demand with my wife. And I knew Christmas bonuses were coming up. I'm like, if you want this puppy, and we ended up getting a Datsun, little Datsun, like Aaron Judge. I have to get this 49 Jackie's, a dream card of mine. So she's like, let me do some research. And she's like, well, how good of a jacket do you need? I'm like, 1.5 and under. Is that a range we could do? She's like, yeah, we could do that. For a puppy, I already have it picked out. I was like, are you kidding me? I was set up. She's like,
Yeah, you were.
So I only made two demands. I made the Jackie demand, and I said the name has to be Yankee affiliated. We ended up naming the puppy Casey after Stengel. So fast forward, part of it was like, do you need it now? I was like, no, I want the card. When I see it, I'll know it, and I don't need to have it tomorrow. So fast forward like 3 months, 4 months, here we have this puppy having accidents all over the house, not listening. And I made the comment, I'm like, golly, babe, we had this puppy 3 months, 4 months, and I still got no Jackie. And she's like, well, that's not my fault. You're supposed to be looking. So I put fillers out, George knows, James knows. I told my guys. I even called Chris from Missouri because he's always at shows. And my wife even said, she's like, well, we can always push the Jackie to the side. Just get something nice for yourself now. I'm like, no. Well, the Larry Doby, I have 49 Bowman in my eBay searches. For this 49 Bowman, Larry Doby, 2.5, and the centering is actually kind of nice, even for Dylan. I think it's Dylan approved, and it was a deal I could not ignore. I was like, "Do you care if I get this instead?" She's like, "Of course, a deal's a deal." She's like, "And we can always keep our eye out for the Jackie." So I'm like, "Beautiful, buy it now." Had the after authentication, got the Larry Doby, and wouldn't you know it, James finds a Jackie Robinson. Raw, ungraded, and he finds it like 3 weeks later, maybe to a month. I'm like, bro, I just dropped a grip on this Larry Doby. He's like, well, what do you want me to do? And I talked to the wife. I'm like, babe, it's ungraded, so we could get it for a lot cheaper, and actually, it's going to be within the budget. So buying it ungraded helped me because I was going to spend that much on a graded copy for what I paid for the two of those. And luckily, James, my homeboy, I trust his eye. He said, it's a nice card for the money. I think it could grade at least, he said a 1.5. His buddy that he works with said a 1. I was like, bro, you at the Dallas Car Show, just send it into SGC and tell me how much I owe you. I sent him the Venmo, actually the wife, because I don't have Venmo on my phone. And wouldn't you know it, it came back better than authentic, came back as a 1. And that's all. I got a Jackie and a Larry Doby for a puppy. I think that's a fair trade, even though that dang dog does not listen to a word I say. She's very cute.
Lou managed to get 2 cards in there instead of 1.
Yeah.
Really?
So getting it raw really did help me out because to get a graded Jackie now, I don't know if you guys follow that Jackie. I mean, as you should, prominent a prominent person in history, period. His stuff is taken off, but Larry Doby deserves a lot of respect, and I admire his story and his history to the game. So I'm happy to get 2 for 1 in this deal.
And I'm so disappointed that the photo ended up like this because these are 2 really nice. They're really nice. So, those and the colors on them and that set's just phenomenal.
Thank you, brother.
Well, Lou took up the rest of our time, so it was nice.
I tried to go fast.
Go, guys.
I tried to go
I thought
fast.
you were going to name the dog Jackie.
Great show, guys. See you guys.
I tried to go fast, but such a good story. My boy James is in it,
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
Bob is in it. Well, Bob.
So this one, this is, we're going to keep it on the Jackie theme here. I'll be quick with it, but you guys who watch my channel and know how much I love this card. But when I got back in the hobby, not quite as early as John, but I got back in 05 when my oldest son was born, and so then I started to buy graded cards. I was buying ironically 81 Fleer Mike Schmidt and stuff like that. Mm. And so then I always loved this card and wanted to buy this card, and And I remember it was the first big card that I bought. And I think I bought it in like 2007 or something. And I remember I won the card on eBay, and I won it for a little bit over $300. And I was like, shit, man, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to tell my wife. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to pay for this. You know, and just kind of an example of how things have changed. Now, you can't always say that this is going to be the case moving forward, but you know, you just, you know, if you find something that you really think is great, you know, again, pull the trigger before Rick does.
Right. That's the important part.
Easy now.
You're up again, Rick. Fire away.
Okay, so this is my most viewed video of all time. So I picked this up Chicago National, and the dealer was honest with me, and there's a pinhole underneath his nose. And so PSA, of course, grades it a 3 with a pinhole. And literally, if you stick it up to the light, you can see it. You can look right through it and read whatever. Which is crazy. But he was honest with me. But you can't really, you know, if you stick it up, you can see it. But it's a very small pinhole underneath his nose. And I don't know how many views I have on this, but I kind of complained. One, I was ranting about PSA, but also how dealer actually explained that there was a pinhole.
Yeah, that's very good of him.
Discount on it. So
a lot of people just sell cards with the number on them, and they don't say anything.
Yeah,
That was your most viewed?
that's my most viewed.
What'd you get, 10?
Not even close to what you got. But I wasn't crying. And
Not all of us can be superstars.
so anytime you rant about anything or you cry on your video, you're gonna get views.
Or you're selling everything.
Yeah, you're selling your
My collection.
Anyway, you can go
Broke
on.
the
Let's
code,
see who
baby.
gets you boys nowhere.
Ironically, Don, you're up next. So go ahead.
All right.
And
What do I got here
Here
next?
comes the waterworks.
Oh,
No,
wait, John's next. John.
That's not mine.
Yeah, I don't have any long super story with this, but when I was growing up, and I would get I would get my vintage cards at my local flea market, and I had access to a lot of cards from the 50s, like 59, 58, 56. And this was the very first 52 tops I ever got. And it was the only one I had until I think 2001. It was the only one I had for years. So this is the original 52 tops from my childhood collection. And so it'll just always be special to me for that. And I love the card.
Hey, John, that's a real 52 tops card, right?
What do you mean?
When I was putting together this video, I looked at it and I'm like thinking it looks so sharp and the color's so good. I thought, is this a reprint? I can't wait to hear this story.
Oh,
It's
no,
amazing.
it's a real one.
That's amazing.
Those blue eyes. Look at that.
Fire.
Like a White Walker.
I've had that since the 1980s.
Nice.
That's one of the two that
When
Dylan saw that was centered.
I mean, I don't think it's Dylan centered. It's not. It's a little off.
4852.
Yeah.
It's such an amazing card. Like it's just such a great looking card. But it's nostalgic to me.
Nice.
Card.
Well, Don, you're up.
What do we got there? Yeah, so I wanted to show something. You know, it's not technically a card; it's a photo. But with Museo, there's only so many cards because he just didn't have that many, and the ones I don't have are very rare, and they're just way on my price range. And I got this. There was a guy. I tried getting him on YouTube, but he wouldn't do it. And I forget his name. He was on Instagram, and he was buying up all this Museo stuff, and then just decided to get rid of it all. And he gave me a really good deal on this piece. So anytime I can get a different or unique Museo piece, I just like to add it to my collection.
That 54 All-Star photo pack, I have a friend who got almost all of them in a deal. And I mean, it's not only just Musial and Mantle and Williams and Mays and all those guys, but it's got the Ernie Banks rookie in it. And it's tough.
Yeah, it's a great set.
Yeah, and they
I
have
think
the
that's
49.
spring training there. Go
Oh,
ahead,
yeah.
John.
I was just going to say they had the 49 All Stars too. I have a DiMaggio from that set.
Hmm.
I think they're a little. I don't know if they're the same size.
I think they probably are. I have a 49 Dodgers photo pack and Cleveland Indians, and they're similar size.
Okay, yeah, they're great, and usually a heck of a lot cheaper than getting cards.
For sure.
Right.
Okay, well, James, you're up, I believe.
Oh,
Nice.
Ernie Banks. That's my first big boy card I ever bought, and one that I took like, I don't know, 2 months of researching to find one with that top border and nicely centered. And it's one that I used to always want as a little kid, looking at Beckett magazines. And I just wanted to share a card that I'm going to take with me forever, because it's the first card that the dam broke after this card. Because after I bought this one, all big boy cards was on after that. But this was the one, like, waiting for it to come in the mail and everything. I was on pins and needles. I stared at it for like a month after I received it. It's one of my favorite cards in my PC.
It's such a tough card. You're right that it's always high.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
there's always like snow around his face or his hat.
But what I love,
Blizzard.
what I love is his youthful smile. This card always draws me back to when I'm young and I'm just playing for fun. And this card for me captures the youth in baseball. That it's not all about big dollars.
Yeah, he looks so young there, and
Right.
of course he was known to say, "Let's play too."
Such
Right,
a great
right.
card.
So
It reminds me of the 49 Bowman Jackie. Like the look on his face, the exuberance about the game. You know what I mean? He's younger than Jackie, obviously, much younger here.
Baby face.
He looks 16.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He looks so young. But
classic card.
it is.
Let's move on, Theo, to one. We'll keep going. Lou, you're up.
I'll be quick. This is to right
we
or
got
wrong.
time, Lou.
This is when I moved into my new house, I don't sell a lot of things, but I had a beautiful like 16 by 24 Willie Mays The Catch autograph Steiner, Willie Mays Hayes, all that stuff. And I just wanted to do all Yankees in my space, and I sold the autograph. I sold the autograph The Catch. And something that always bothered me. I was like, man, I can't believe I did that, because, just we've all gone through that. So this card is me righting a wrong. I worked a lot of overtime, and, I saw this card pop up, and I just could not stop looking at it. And I just pulled the trigger, and that was me trying to fix what my mistake 6 years prior. I should have never sold that Willie Mays. Of course, after he passed, anything Willie went bonkers. So happy to have this beautiful card in my collection, and super clean auto. And I love the picture. I'm just
And this
hustling.
looks like an early picture, again, like,
Yes.
that Willie Mays whose hat's flying off as he's sliding a third kind of thing.
Yeah, classic.
Just beautiful. I did it for Rick too.
Thanks, buddy. Send it my way, would you?
There we go.
Oh, look at that beautiful Mag Pro label.
Mag Pro, baby.
All day.
Use John's code for 10% off. Use Mangini, code Mangini, I believe it was.
John Mangini is the code.
Yeah, use it.
Oh,
All
my gosh.
caps.
We might get through this, guys. We're going pretty quick. So, Theo, throw one up there, another one up there. Hopefully, yeah. It's not cut off.
Oh,
Autographed.
Mic
Wow.
drop.
So this is a card. Real quick story. When I was in New Jersey, B. Roth and I were looking at cards, wandering around with paparazzi. And I was talking to B. Roth one morning after we had spent a lot of time all night, probably up at the Misfit house in Atlantic City. And I was wandering around telling him how I had let one of these raw versions of the Old Time Black Star signed by Satch go. I had let it go on eBay, and I didn't bid strong enough. And he said, well, I'll be on the lookout for you. And I guess this kind of goes to the YouTube community and how we all help each other, and we try to help each other as much as we can. So B-Raw texts me, and I'm in the middle. I'm actually in court at this point. Like in court, I get a text from B-Roth. Hey, this card popped up on eBay, and he had given me a heads up on this, and he had one that he had bought, and so then I finished up my business in court, and I walked out, and I got online, and actually it was Baseball Card Exchange had this card, and I went on Baseball Card Exchange's website and gave them an offer, and picked the card up. But I guess the whole point of this is, there's a lot of points to it, but the reality is it's really a card I would not have had but for B-Roth and him pointing me right direction and looking out for it for me. Kind of like James was looking out for that Jackie for you, Lou. But anyway, just kind of how cool the YouTube community is, and it's great to be a part of it.
See, Rick, you're supposed to look out for people.
Two things. One thing comes to mind when you mention the Atlantic City House and you're talking to paparazzi. I don't remember John being there at all that night.
Oh, that's true.
Whoa.
Oh, he was there.
I wasn't.
He was.
Oh, John Mangini.
I wasn't there that night.
Yeah, John was out and about.
He was
No,
out and
James
about.
we were out picking his ass up because he had a flat tire in the hood.
I know. I didn't even make it. Didn't even make it.
4 minutes left.
Rick, you're up, man.
We can go fast.
It's geez, I don't know what it's doing here.
All right, so
well, you showed this card earlier.
Yeah, so this card is important to me because James, I'll have to give him credit. James is a nice guy. We probably give him more shit than anyone in our chat, right, Don?
I would agree.
And Don always sends us some nice pictures of James. But James is really nice. James, you remember this card?
Okay, see. Picked it up at Mickey Mantle.
Yeah, Oklahoma, and I'm bugging James. Hey, if you see anything, I think I might be interested in. Please text me. And he's texting me as he's trying to make his own deal with this older gentleman in Oklahoma, and he showed me this card, and he brokered a deal for me to pick up this card, and he paid for the card. I'd obviously pay him back, but James is he bought the card. He had the card for Eric. We gave Eric the speaker card and helped Lou rock. And he's actually on a hunt for me when he gets to the National for a card too. So I have to give James some prop, and he was willing to do that for me. So
I'm sending a list with James.
Thanks, James.
Thank you. Anytime.
Yeah, so I put this one up because I have a few questions. It was given to me by Mr. Mangini here. So I'm gathering it isn't worth shit, or he wouldn't have given it to me.
That's a rare set, Don.
But that's what I'm asking. I don't know what this card is.
So
what is this from, John?
It's from 1970.
Even though it says 69 on it?
It's 1970. They call it Jack in the Box, but it's not Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box wasn't even in Pittsburgh. But in what was it, 69? They made the Jack in the Box for the A's.
Yeah.
And then there was a guy named Anderson, and he made similar. Well, it was the Angels. Jack in the Box, I think, was the Angels and the A's. But there was a guy named Anderson, and he made these kinds of cards. They were like the Broder cards that you will find with the Japanese players, and they often call them Jack in the Box, even though they don't say Jack in the Box anyway.
Okay.
And the following year, these were made for the Pirates. They're scarce, and you don't see them too often.
No, I couldn't find anything. What's the 129Q on the bottom?
129Q.
That's probably 129 games. It's
Oh, is that a G?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like a Q to me. Got one off. Okay.
Yeah, they just put some basic stats there. They're blank back. Not a set you find all the time. I stumbled on that set in the standard catalog of vintage baseball cards, and of course, being a Pirate fan, I had to go looking. And believe me, I had a hard time finding them. I found one for he was asking like $150 for the whole set years ago, and I tried to get him down and made an offer, and he didn't accept it, and then somebody snagged it right away. It might have been Rick. So I missed out on that. So I had to piecemeal the set together and buy them a little at a time. Sometimes you'll find a few of them together, and I finally just got the Stargell. So anyway, buying lots of them over the years, I ended up with a few doubles, and that's what I gave you.
Yeah, that's cool. Is there a Clemente in that set?
No Clemente in it.
Okay.
No, Stargell's the biggest card, and of course Al Oliver. I think. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. There's a Manny Sanguillen. There's really cool Gene Alley. It's sideways. It's a horizontal card.
Gotcha.
There's another horizontal card. They're cool looking cards.
Yeah, they are.
They're unique looking, and they're unique poses, which I like. Like to get a set that has poses on that you don't see every day.
Al Oliver signing free at the National, according to Dom. That's kind of cool.
Oh, that's cool.
He's such a great signer. I mean, I have so much signed stuff from him over the years. You know, Bill Madlock too. He signs everything.
Theo, do we have time for one more card?
Oh no!
We'll be
Let's George.
Put it
Come
up
on,
in
Theo.
1 minute. 1 minute. Here we go.
1 minute.
1 minute.
Oh, shit. Again, Lou, you're getting the treatment here.
So I'll be fast. This is a card for my son, my oldest. I think he was maybe 10 or 11. It was around Easter. We do Easter baskets, try to show as a segue the true meaning of Easter. And my kids had Easter baskets, and my son goes to my mom. I was like, why doesn't Daddy get an Easter basket? Let's hook him up. And Big League is what's prevalent now, but it was opening day back in the day, and it was maybe a $13 blaster. And in that blaster, I get a short print Acuna. I get this redemption card for signed dirt. That's what the relic is, signed dirt. And it just means so much to me. My son, you know, we joke, you know, when I pass down the kingdom, my son's like, I only want that card because it means more to me because you got such a good card from that box. And, you know, it was Easter, and we just tried to pass certain traditions to our children. And the fact that I got this sick card is probably one of the sickest pulls I got from any blaster or any pack I've ever pulled. And the fact that my son gave it to me thinking.
We gotta say bye.
We gotta say bye.
You know what? Before we go, Theo, take some computer skills. So next year, those pictures come up correctly.
Yeah.
And you can have George on here, the host. George is
Take some
AWOL.
computer class.
Your game up.
Love my hobby. Keep collecting baseball cards.
But hey, we want to keep the lights on here at Four Collectors Studios, so hit the like button for us, guys.
So thanks everybody for coming, and yeah, we'll see you next time on Four Collectors.
All right, guys, have a great rest of your night. Subscribe to the Four Collectors channel if you haven't done so yet, and we'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Clemente Collector has said we hit a grand slam, so that makes me feel good.